Hello, billionaires. It's another day to be alive, well, excited, going after that dough, man. And more importantly, making amazing impact in the world. One of the things that keeps me going is the fact that I know that what I am doing is affecting someone out there. Yes, we might not have grown to the millions of people we are anticipating yet, but one person at a time, their business, their life is being transformed as a result of what I do. So I want to ask you a question. What exactly are you doing? And why do you do what you do? Will you keep doing what you are doing, even if you don't have the kind of results or the kind of output or the kind of support that you think you truly deserve? Right? It is the billion-dollar operating system, and I'm super excited to welcome you to the fourth episode in this series. We're looking at how do billionaires actually design their structure such that it becomes predictable. There was a time Donald Trump went bankrupt. He lost everything he had. Guess what? In a matter of 2 or 3 years, it was back up as a billionaire. How do people like that think that no matter what, even when they lose, even when they hit rock bottom, they always bounce back to the billion-dollar marks because that is who they are. So I want to say a big welcome to you. If you're running a business and you want to operate in that volume, right, you need to go back and look at all the episodes we've had in this series. But today we are dealing with something very critical. It is customer acquisition systems. A few years back, somebody asked me a question. So I was having a conversation with a founder, recently actually, and then the guy said something. He said, "My business made 15 million naira last month, and this month we made 2 million naira." He said, "We put in the same effort, the same energy, we did the same things we would always do. So why do we have that disparity?" And I will tell you why. The reason you have the disparity is because you don't have a customer acquisition system. Yes, you are running your business, you are doing things, but what you are doing is not predictable. It's not predictable because it is not scalable. It is not repeatable. If you cannot repeat it, you cannot scale it. And if you try to scale inefficiency, it's going to bring down your business. So it is critical that you understand what exactly you are doing and why you are doing what you are doing. So our conversation today is going to move founders from random marketing activities to structured customer acquisition systems that generate consistent demand. You want to move from just posting things randomly, just going on Instagram, going on YouTube, and being everywhere, scattering your energy, and you're wondering, why are you not getting the kind of result that you said you want to get? You are not getting the kind of result that you said you want to get because what you are doing is not based on the principles that ensure effective customer acquisition. Right. Before we go on tonight, remember this is the Growth Factory, and our vision is to catalyze a new generation of visionary African entrepreneurs. And we say by 2035, we are building 1,000 billionaires through strategic education, structural support, and scalable ecosystems. Are you going to be part of those billionaires? Whether you like it or not, 2035 is going to be here. How are you running your business now that guarantees you're going to make that number? That is up to you critically, up to you if you're going to be part of that number who will be able to scale their business operations, and you can operate in billions in all currencies. Billions in all currencies. What's our mission? To equip MSMEs and emerging entrepreneurs with transformative knowledge, strategic tools, growth capital, and a supportive community that enables them to build sustainable, globally competitive businesses. Yes, are you an emerging entrepreneur? Are you an MSME? A growth factory is where you want to belong to. You want to belong to the growth community where we share resources, transformative knowledge, where we help you to structure your business to attract the capital that you need, right, to build a sustainable, globally competitive business. Because what we are doing is a pan-African thing. It's a global thing. We want to raise billionaires from Africa whose impact will reach to the ends of the earth. And I want to say, welcome to the billionaire circle, right? So, what are we discussing today? Three things, right? I like to break everything we're going to discuss into three critical things. The first one is you understanding the customer acquisition funnel. It's very simple to understand. Once you know it, it helps your business, it helps your mind, then you know exactly what you are into. Number two is the acquisition channel strategy. What strategy are you going to use to be able to ensure that you are reaching the right people and that you are getting the right results from the people you are trying to reach? And the third one is designing your acquisition system. So I want to take you to that point where you can look at yourself and say, yes, now I understand how to build, how to craft, how to develop my own winning acquisition system. This is something that you must be able to do all by yourself, because once you get it, I'm telling you, boom, you eat the gusher, right? So let's flow, right? I want to say a big welcome to everyone joining the live call, and then we're just going straight into it today. And then in the course towards the end, we're going to have some conversations, right, to get us going. So let's look at these three things critically, right? Your customer acquisition funnel, your channel strategy, and your acquisition system. I hope you're ready. Get your pen, get your notes, because today is going to be a whole lot for us to learn together. So, when you are building your customer acquisition funnel, you build it in four stages. Basically, the first stage is the stage of attention. Now, this is it. Before someone becomes a customer, they must first notice that you exist. Period. Before someone can even say, oh, I think I like this person, I think they must at least know that you exist. That is very, very, very critical. So, attention means that they notice you. So, how do you generate attention? Through educational content like what I am doing now. There are a lot of people seeing my videos and they're wondering, what this guy is saying is making a lot of sense. Many of them haven't met me before, right? But when you have educational videos, educational content, that is one means by which you gain attention. Another thing is social media visibility, right? These videos will go on social media, people will see them and they'll wonder, whoa, where has this guy been? How come I've not known him all this while, right? So some will search for your name, and that is why you need to understand what they call SEO. We're still going to talk about that, search engine optimization. So when people are searching for someone in your field, in your industry, in your community, in the area where your office is, will your name pop up? Very critical. How do you position yourself, right? We're going to discuss as much as we can in the course of our conversation tonight, right? You can also get visibility through strategic partnerships. So sometimes you see people going, doing collaborations, going to another, being on another person's stage, maybe their podcast or something. Why are you doing that? You are doing that because you want to be seen by people who don't know you before. Another way you can do that is through media exposure. I can go to big television stations or radio stations or podcasts and offer to be seen. Tell them what you do, and you may be able to get a slot either for free or for a fee. But the point is, whatever it is, you must get yourself out there. People must know that you exist, right? The objective of attention is very simple. is for you to get before the right audience. The right audience must see you. If they can't see you, you don't exist. You don't exist. You are only around. You don't determine what goes around. Like I like to say that a lot, right? So if they don't notice you, that means you don't exist. And it is only the people that exist that can be an option. Because if you are not an option, you cannot be a choice. So attention, they must see you first. They must see you first. And when we're saying they must, not everybody in the world, there are about 8 billion people in the world. You don't need 8 billion people to see you. You just need your ideal customers to see you. And I hope that is clear for someone. Let's move to the second part. The second stage is the interest stage. Right? Let me take some water. It's been a very beautiful day. Trust me. All right. So when you are able to move from attention, then you move to interest. Now, attention alone is not enough. Attention means that we know that you exist. But the point is, after knowing that you exist, do I want to stay? Do I want to engage you long enough to know more about you? So if what you are doing, right, is not meeting the needs of the people, they will not stay. They will not be interested, right? So once people notice you, they must become interested in your offer, in what you do, in your person, your personality, and in the message that you're passing across, in the problem you're trying to solve. If your customers, the people that found you are not interested in what you do, then you've lost them. You've just wasted your marketing effort, right? Very critical. So they must not just they must become interested in what you offer. So how do you create interest? Those are questions you want to ask yourself. Your content must be valuable. It must be valuable. It must be something they can really, easily easily work with. I like that. Somebody highlighted in the comment section. I quickly went to read that, right? So it must be something that interests your audience. It must be something so it must be valuable content. Your messaging should be clear. They should know. Like I say it all the time here. If you follow what we do, you practice what we do, you will become a billionaire. That is the mission, to raise 1,000 billionaires from the African soil to the ends of the earth, to whose impact, whose business would touch virtually all the continents. That is the idea. That is the vision that we have here. So if you keep listening, you keep practicing, don't just listen, but make use of the information we share, right? You will get to that point where you can hit your hand and say, look, I know I have crossed the billion. Because first, the thing must break in your brain. You must believe that you have what it takes to build a system that can scale into billions, right? So your messaging must be clear. Who are you becoming, or who are people becoming when they come to you? Look at Google. Organize the world's information. That is Google. They want to organize the world's information such that in less than 5 seconds, anything you want, you're going to have it, right? So is your messaging clear? Can people understand what you are trying to become or what you're trying to achieve in 2, 3 seconds? So, insightful education, I talk about that. You must keep telling the people about what you do. You must keep telling them. You must keep speaking to them. And of course, you have to demonstrate to the people that you know what you were talking about, right? One of the things I do is that people know that this guy knows about business, right? So yes, I do a lot of research on that, but the point is that I also run a business and I know about business. I teach business people, right? So you must be able to demonstrate your expertise, right? So what are you thinking? You want them to begin to think, this guy is good, is what he's saying is relevant. So the first thing is that they notice you. The second thing is that you begin to affect their perception that you are important to their growth. that you are relevant to their evolution. Once people see you, perceive you, notice you, recognize you, accept you as important to their evolution, that means you have caught their interest. You have caught their interest, and that takes us to the third point. That takes us to the third point, which is the stage of consideration. It takes us to the third point, that's the stage of consideration. What happens in the consideration stage is that the potential customers begin to evaluate whether your solution fits their needs. So at first, they notice that you exist. Then number two, they begin to think that you are relevant to their evolution. So the third thing is that they now begin to evaluate what you are selling, whether it actually meets their needs. The first one, most times their interest is about you and your message. Then the third one, the consideration, is now more about your offering. What exactly are you selling? So they are considering it. They have options. They've seen other people. So they want to consider, they want to juxtapose, they want to put it side by side to see if what you are selling, if what you are offering in any way would be relevant to them, and if it's going to solve their problem. So at this point, they are evaluating your solution, right? So what you do is, so when people get to this point, sometimes they may watch all your content. I found myself, I discovered some comedians, and then I'll watch one video and then another and another until I catch myself. I say, guy, what are you doing here? Come and get out of this place, right? Because I just like what I'm seeing. I like the guy's ideas, the way he gesticulates, the way he passes his message in a unique way. I'm seeing him for the first time. So what am I doing? I want to know more about him. That's consideration. So they want to watch more of your content. Some of them will visit your website. They will check for your address, whether your business address is real. They may check it on Google, right? They want to check whether what you're doing is real, whether you have a business address. They want to know everything to know about you, whether you are genuine. They will visit your website. They will read your testimonials. What have people said about you? So if as a business person, you are not receiving testimonials, you are shooting yourself in the foot. Trust me, you're shooting yourself in the foot. Collect testimonials, people who have experienced you, who have known you. Let them say something about you that will put others at peace that, oh, if this person can say something about this, then have you noticed that when you see even very big men, when they write a book or something, then they go and call all their big men friends to write about them, and the impact they've made in their lives. Why? Because if a billionaire can attest to the fact that you're a good person, then you're a good person, because everybody respects that guy who just wrote about you. Wow. You understand what I'm saying? So everybody respects that guy. So that is a game changer for you, right? So very, very critical, right? So they visit your website, they read your testimonials, and then they compare you with other alternatives. You see a lot of people, they will try to compare you. So who else is out there who is offering the same thing that you are offering? Who else is out there who is trying to do the same thing that you're doing? So people are asking questions, and they're going to be referring, they're going to be comparing you. So what people are trying to do at this stage is to build trust, right? So you see them looking, so sometimes they will look at your case studies. What have you done? So how you build the trust in these guys is that you show a lot of results of things you have done in the past. Probably you've done a case study before, the case study of a place or a situation where you helped a customer to solve their problem. So when they see the similarity in the problem that you solve, right? Then they say, okay, this problem resonates with me. So they are considering you. Another one is proof of results, right? If you if you have done something and you have a result. So you see investors will say, oh, I invested a 1 million naira. After 3 years, I made 5 million naira. And then you see them showing receipts, So why do you think they are doing that? Like, I can help you get that kind of result also if you follow me, if you subscribe to my master class. I'm going to show you how you can invest 1 million naira in the Nigerian stock exchange, and in 5 years you're going to make 5 million naira. So that's what they are doing. So they are showing proof of results. Then sometimes you want to do demonstration videos of how to do it. Another thing I've seen a lot of people do, this one is even very, very common. So you see people do social validation, right? Just like I said, you get somebody to talk about you, right? So the more people talk about you and the more respected the people who talk about you, then the more the chances that people would see you as someone they can trust. And once you get to that point, right, resistance drops. Once resistance drops, guess what? Money is about to change hands. And I hope up to this point, you have learned something. Once resistance drops, you move to the fourth phase, which is conversion. Conversion, right? The conversion phase, right, happens when a prospect becomes a paying customer. They are no longer just prospects. Now they are paying you. They are no longer thinking whether they like you or they don't like you. You've passed that level. They're no longer wondering whether you're going to run with their money or not, whether they're going to get value for their money or not. You've passed that level. At this stage, at this level, all they want to do is to part with their money because they have seen enough evidences to believe that you can do what you said you will do and that you will do what you said you will do. So this step depends on, do you have a compelling offer? Very critical. Many times we are trying to do something, but the offer is not compelling enough to want to make people to part with their monies. The offer is not compelling enough. So you must have a compelling offer. It's very critical. Your offer must be compelling enough to want to make people part with their monies. Then the second one is clear pricing. People must know what they are paying, right? And of course, the pricing has to be worth it. Now, when it comes to pricing worth it, let me break down a bit, because the worth of a price is relative depending on who you are selling to. Depending on who you are selling to. I heard the story of a particular guy who does tutorials. He does tutorials. Very brilliant guy. He's a brilliant math teacher. So, but he was living in a suburb of Lagos in Nigeria, right? So he was charging one ridiculously low amount. But somehow, by chance, his name went out. Somebody recommended him in Lekki. Lekki is one of the highbrow areas in Lagos, Nigeria, right? So the guy stupidly told the people that, and they had 3 children. He was going to be taking his 3 children. So stupidly, the guy said he told them the same amount that he was charging in the suburb where he lives. He told them that that was what he was going to collect. Guess what? The man just shut him out and never called him again. That was the end of the conversation. Why? Because the guy felt if somebody is charging this low, it can never be a high-rated person. He just shut him out. Why? So you need to understand your customer and know their pricing preferences, their pricing preferences. So who you are selling to, who you are targeting matters a lot. You are not expensive. You are just not selling to the right audience. You are not selling to the right customers. So if you look at your funnel from attention to interest to consideration to conversion, if the people you are attracting are people who cannot pay for what you say you are worth, then there's something wrong with your communication. I'm going to say that again. If the people that you are attracting are people who cannot pay for what you for the value that you put on your service or your product, that means that your communication is wrong. You are communicating to the wrong person all along. So you go back to the attention. Whose attention have you been cutting? Then from cutting their attention to getting them interested to consideration. So you need to so when you tweak all of these things, then you ask yourself this. So you do your customer avatar. We've talked about these things in previous episodes, right? So this customer, what are the things that will catch their attention? What are the things that will interest them? If they are going to consider me, how do I position myself for this person to consider me? Let me give you an example. If you want billionaires to patronize you, you probably would need at least one or two billionaires to say something about you or your product or your service. Someone that is in their class. If you are not there yet, you need someone in their class to validate you that they can trust you to deliver what you say you will do. I hope somebody got that. So that means your communication must be tight. Your communication must be able to bring in the kind of people that you want eventually to convert to become paying customers, right? So you need a compelling offer. You need a clear pricing. Your pricing has to be clear. You need to understand what they are buying and why they are buying, right? Make your buying process simple. I've seen a lot of people, when you want to buy, it's complex. It's too complex. It's too complex. Once people want to pay, they want to give you money, and they have issues. Maybe the payment platform has an issue, is down. I remember there was one night I needed to do a transaction, and I've noticed that particular bank. There's a bank in Nigeria. Once it's around 9, 10 p.m., their channels shut off. You can't transact. I will not mention their name, but for maybe after behind the scenes, I can mention the name. But I've noticed that every time I want to do a transaction in the night and it is the name of that bank, it will just my platform will just tell me that this bank service is not available. So you are, if you're using that bank and that's the only bank you use, you are shooting yourself, in the foot. So it's better you get a bank or a payment platform that runs 24 hours, because you will never be able to tell when people are going to pay you. And someone said that if you have to work only when you are awake, that means you're going to work. If you're going to make money only when you are awake, that means you're going to work all your life. You should be able to make money while asleep. You wake up to big alerts, right? Billionaires make money around the clock. So you need to be able to get yourself to that point, right? So a compelling offer, a simple buying process, confidence in the value delivered. You must be able to instill confidence, right, in the value that you are delivering. Let people know that this is what they're going to get. Like, and like we say in computing, WISY, what you see is what you get. Right? So what people see must be what they get, right? So the easier it is to buy from you, the higher your conversion rate. If they have to call somebody, they have to get approval, they have to forget it. People will not go through that stress. Once your buying process is complex, you're going to lose a lot of people. You're going to lose a lot of people once your process is complex. I hope somebody is getting something today. Right. So we've stayed so long on that part, right? I'm going to rush through the remaining parts now so that we can finish in an hour like we usually do. So let's go on to your acquisition channel strategy. So in this, we're going to talk about four things. I hope somebody is getting something, right? So put it in the comments. Oh, this is beautiful. This is beautiful. I'm really learning a lot tonight, right? So beautiful, beautiful. So acquisition channel strategy. This talks about um, how you can ensure that your acquisition channel works for your business. So you need to understand your channel strategy. The type of business you are running will determine the kind of acquisition channel you are going to run, right? So um, you need to find out where your ideal customers already spend attention, where they already spend their time. So if you're trying to reach, for example, maybe the millennials, and the Gen X's, there's a place where they already congregate. If you want to reach out to Gen Zs, Gen Alphas, there are platforms where you can already meet them. So it's important, it's very critical, that you are able to understand the channel where they are and then tailor your content towards where they already spend their time. So maybe we're doing that classification and breaking down in another episode. But think about it this way. For content channels, I know we know them a lot. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook. Some people run blogs these days, podcasts, channels, So anywhere people do content on X, right? So there are quite a lot of them. So it's important we list these things, right? So what these channels do for you is that they help you to build authority and they give you organic attention. They help you to build authority and they give you organic attention. The more you show up, the more people begin to believe in you that, wow, this guy's been doing this thing for like 2 years and he still has something to say. That means he must be really good. He must be really good. So they are giving you the attention. Why? Because they feel that if you can be doing this thing passionately, consistently, then that means you are good at it. So already people are having that soft spot for you, that you are someone they can trust, that you're someone who has what they need. So it gives you that authority and it gives you organic attention, meaning that you don't need to pay for it, right? So the other one, the search channels. Where do people get attention? People search a lot. Every day, millions of searches go on Google every day. Search. So there's Google search, there's SEO, there are online directories. People are searching for things, searching this business, that business, online directories like Gigi, like Jumia, so like yes, we may think that there are e-commerce websites, but then people also search for businesses and products that interest them on this channel. So the question is, are you there? Will they be able to find you in the places where they are searching for things, right? So if people are already searching for something, then that tells you that you should be there, right? Yes, you should be there. You should be there. So you must learn then in your strategy how to already put your products, your services on the platforms where people are searching for solutions. So you must be in their face where they're searching for solutions. So sometimes you see people do paid ads on Google. So when you do a Google search, the first 2 or 3 results, most times you will see ad there. Why? Those people are putting their faces out, in the places where people are already searching. So you already see them. Then we also have paid channels, right? Paid channels talk about like social media ads. There's Facebook ad, Instagram ad, Twitter ad. All of them are doing ad. Now even YouTube is doing ad. Everybody is doing ad so that I can reach a wider audience, right? So then we also have display ads. So there's social media ads, search ads, and then display ads. So I don't know if you've had this experience before. You are maybe on Truecaller, you're trying to make a call, and then maybe after the call, then an advert comes to your phone, or you want to use one app and then an advert comes to your phone. So Those are display arts. Display arts. You must learn to put your business, your whatever it is you do, in places where people can see you, right? So those display ads are also very critical, but those are not free anyway. They are paid channels, right? Then the fourth one, which you may also want to explore, are partnership channels. Partnership channels like influencer collaboration. So there is an influencer who does something in your field. Let's take for example, let's say you want to go into medicals. Let's say you want to start selling hospital equipment, right? Then you partner with someone like Apropos Doctor and you say, look, I want to be on your channel. I want to be, so people see you. People who follow him, who are the medical, who know he's a medical person, then see you that, oh, this guy is also, doing medicals, is selling this and that. So that is collaboration, right? Influencer collaboration, strategic alliances. Sometimes you and someone can come together and build the channel from the ground up. Then you are teaching yourselves, you're doing, a whole lot of things because you are trying to build yourself together. So you see a whole lot. You see some podcast channels on YouTube, like 3, 4 people who, in quotes, would be all right on their own right, but they feel that they would have better, they will have better mileage when they come together. So you see quite a lot of podcast channels doing that now. You see like 3, 4 people on the channel. Then sometimes they bring some very powerful guests to honor their podcast, and stuff like that. So that's a lot, so we see that a lot. So partnership, strategic alliances, then affiliate networks is another place where you can actually sell yourself. Affiliate networks, I'm trying to remember this expert, yes, this expert name, right? So there are quite a number of places now where you can get people to sell your product, for a fee, So you don't want to make all the money all by yourself. So it's also part of the strategies you want to develop, right? So one of the things that partnership channels do is that they leverage existing channels, so but I will say this, that as a founder, you don't want to be everywhere at the same time. Like we said earlier, that you pay attention to where your primary audience already are and focus on 1 or 2 channels that target them. Then you can do an effective job. One example of a company I can give you now off the top of my feet is HubSpot. You don't see HubSpot everywhere. HubSpot was doing only educational content. And with their educational content, in fact, they have a free, I'm trying to remember what they call that thing again. I actually did this certification. This digital marketing, yes, they have a free digital marketing certification program that you run all free and you'll be satisfied. They will teach you everything about them. It's free digital marketing certification. You can check it on HubSpot, right? So, and with that, they have been able to extend to become one of the strongest email channel, one of the strongest CRS channels, right? So how are they able to do all of this? Because they focus on one thing they know how to do better than every other person. I was reading about them a while ago and I said, wow, these guys are amazing. So you want to read more about HubSpot, right? So, and I hope this is helpful for someone. So let's go to how you can design your acquisition system. How can you design acquisition system? And we're going to call it a wrap on this. I still have quite a lot to say, but we're just going to cut it short. Like I always tell us, we're still going to have some master classes where we're going to break this down for everyone to be able to participate. And so the question then is, the first question we'll ask yourself is, where will you consistently create attention? You need to be able to answer it by yourself. For me, everybody knows Mondays we go live on Zoom at the Growth Factory, and then we share the video with all our friends the same night on YouTube, right? So if you want to catch the replay of this session, Just go to the YouTube at Boardroom and you can see it at the base of this page. At like watching right now, it's on every page on the slide, right? So just go to at Boardroom NG, look for at Boardroom NG on YouTube, and you're going to catch all the replays of everything we have ever said. So you need to be able to tell yourself where you will consistently create attention. Where will you consistently, you need to make up your mind. If you can't make up your mind, then you will, people cannot make up their mind for you. So very critical. So where will you constantly create attention? So that is your primary attention channel. It can be weekly YouTube content, daily LinkedIn insights, strategic events, educational webinars. I told us about HubSpot. There must be something you are doing consistently that will give you that attention. You know, I remember one of my friends, those days when YouTube wasn't this popular. This guy would be holding webinars, seminars rather. It was actually holding seminars almost every weekend. And he would use some of the most exotic hotels, to host his seminars. And today the guy is actually a billionaire, and he is one of the top realtors we have in Nigeria today. Why? Because he knew the strategy is to always get attention. Once you can always caught the attention of people in no time, then they will give you your onions. You must always be able to cut the attention of people. So that is a strategy that one must understand and play, critically. So the second one is, how will you capture your leads? How will you capture your leads? And I would say also that when you talk about creating attention, consistency is more important than volume. Consistency is more important than passion, right? So if you go passionate and then you do like 7 days, and after the 7 days, you stop showing up, you will not get the same result as somebody who posts once a week and is consistent with their once a week post. You will not get the same result because that person keeps showing up, keeps showing up. If you know Mark Angel Comedy started, they will post a video every Friday. Then it became something everybody was looking forward to that time. Every Friday, one video in 1 week. That was what made Mark Angel Comedy to blow up today, right? So consistency is more important than power. So how will you capture leads? Very important. You must be able to convert attention into contacts. You must be able to convert attention into contact. People must be able to, you must be able to capture who is following you, who is watching you, what are they liking. You must be able to capture your lead, right? So either through email subscriptions, tell them to register for webinars, tell them to download free resources, right? Or you create some trial sign-ups. Okay, just try it. So you must be able to capture data. The people who come as your leads are your potential customers. It means that they're already interested in you enough to take a decision, to take a stake, even if that stake is free. The fact that they are able to size you up and are willing to take a stake on you, then those are your real potential customers, right? So if you don't capture attention, you will lose it. If you don't capture attention, you will lose it. So that's very critical. So after you've captured the attention, then the next thing is, how will you nurture your prospects? You must be able to nurture your prospects, right? So not everyone will buy immediately. So you have to keep oiling the relationship, right? So either through educational emails, community engagement, valuable insights, through demonstrations, right? So you must be able to keep nurturing them. Nurturing makes them ready. They make them conversion ready, meaning that one day, somewhere, somehow, they're going to decide for you. So you keep nurturing them. You keep oiling the relationship. That is very critical. Then the last one, what triggers the purchase decision? What triggers the purchase decision? So the final step is converting interest into action. Convert interest into action. So your trigger may include something like, oh, you say, oh, it's a limited time offer, meaning that if you don't buy now, I remember those old movie adverts in Nigeria, right? So those days when they say, oh, you need to buy this video, I say, grab your copy now, right? So the whole idea is that you want someone to make a decision almost immediately in your favor, make a decision almost immediately in your favor. So there must be a clear call to action. You see a lot of businesses doing trial version. They will tell you something that is probably like $500. They tell you it's $1 free, $1 for 3 days free. For some people, will say it's even free. Some give 7 days trials, 3 days trials, 21 days trials, 30 days trials. They just want you to experience. So once you experience it and it becomes a part of your life, somehow you will not want to let go. And you know what they do most times? Your details will be captured in their credit card. So if you don't cancel after your trial ends, of which many people will forget because you already love the platform. If you don't cancel before your trial ends, guess what? You're going to pay for 1 year or whatever cycle they're using. So it's very critical you understand what triggers the purchase decision and you are able to drive conversion with it. So let's look at this and we're going to have a little bit of conversation here. So in all, this is a summary of everything we've been saying so far. You need an attention source. Your attention source will lead to your lead capture. Your lead capture leads to your nurture process. And then from your nurture process, you have your conversion offer. So let me ask one or two questions on the call tonight, right? So from all the things we've said, I know we've said a lot and you might not have enough time to process what has been said, but from the few things you have captured, can you share with us what attention source you intend to use, what lead capture you, whether you intend to use or you are already using, right? Let's share from our experiences. Let me see who we have on the call tonight, right? So let's share from our experiences, right? We have Steve, we have Babs, we have Wale on the call. So anybody wants to share with us what attention source either you're already using or that you think you may start using, right? Then what lead capture are you going to put in place to ensure that you are able to capture value? And then what nurture process do you think you're going to try out? So it might not be something Stephen, you want to say something?
Yeah, thank you so much, sir.
All right.
Thank you. Today is getting more and more interesting, and while you were talking, I think I don't want to say you were fast because actually we are we are talking with time. Our time is measured and all of that. And I like the fact that at least, in spite of all of that, at least we were taking. So I was just busy writing and writing through. I don't think there has been any day I've written things down like this, like today, which is I think it means I'm headed somewhere. I think to me one of the attention at this thing. I guess I will start. I have started using, but I think you bust my bubble in one of those places. It's LinkedIn. I remember, was it 2 weeks or so ago? I was all consistent in a week. I think I post like 3, 4 times, and for the first time after using LinkedIn for over how many years, my impression grew up to over 2,000. And then, like you say, for last week now, I think I only posted once. Can you hear me, sir?
Yeah, I can. Yeah. So
Okay.
you
So
had
last week now when
passion,
I
you went all out, then the passion dropped again, right?
so last week and this week now when I went, I was going once a week. The impression and the page view as well reduced. So I think from what you said, that aspect of being consistent, that consistency is better than volume. Also, yes, well, I need to show up if it's twice or why when like when you talk about Mike Angel's comedy and all of that. So I think I am getting to, but how to be grabbing the attention and the triggers. Yes, I think as I become first, I want to be a bit consistent first and know that yes, I can sustain this thing for a period of time. Then I think these triggers and how to keep them and until I get them to conversion stage until they become a buying client and all of that. I think I noted and I jotted all of them down. So I think it's something I will give a deep thought and see how it can pattern my channel. But in all, I can say this was today just like hitting it. So I'm so grateful and I pray I'll be consistent on this platform. And as I keep applying it in action, I think it's more important than just listening to me.
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah.
so much.
Yeah, thank you, Stephen. I really appreciate the vulnerability and for coming out. Like I said earlier, um, consistency is more important than the burst of energy. So for me, I would rather that one spreads that energy over time than just use all the energy in 1 week and then boom, after that you then go down, you're not showing up again, right? So, and sometimes it's going to be very painful. The truth is that in holding the growth factory, there are days I am not motivated to come up. I'm telling you that days are like, oh my word, what's happening today? So but then because I have made a commitment and somehow I just find the energy to show up. And the interesting thing is, once I start talking, the energy just comes, right? But sometimes, oh, wait, I did it again today. So you will not always be excited about showing up. That's what I'm trying to say. But the thing is, you will be rewarded for showing up when you say you will show up. Just show up all the same. It will not always be exciting. So if you wait for the time it will be exciting, we never do it. I've realized that principles don't respect emotions, like the law of sowing and reaping. Whether you are crying when you went to the farm, as long as your maize is viable, you with your cry, oh, I'm tired. Just make sure you plant the maize. Just make sure you plant the cassava. Make sure you plant the seed. Whether you are crying, whether you are happy, whether you are not happy, just make sure you plant. As long as you plant, you will reap. And if you say, oh, I'm tired today, I am not planting. No matter what the person does, even if it's a supernatural person and all of that, there will be no harvest. Why? Because you refuse to plant. And when it comes to planting, there are two things. It's both quality and quantity. The quality of what you plant is important, and the quantity of that quality is also important. So the person who posts a quality video once in a month and the person who posts a quality video once in a week and the person who posts quality videos 3 times in a week, they will not have the same result over time. They will not, right? So while quality is important, the quantity of that quality is also very important. So I just thought to mention that. Right. Thank you so much, so much, so much, so much, so much. So we're going to close this, right? This is my final thought. Businesses do not grow because they exist. They grow because they are consistently discovered by the right customers. Customer acquisition becomes powerful when attention is intentional, you capture your leads, your trust is nurtured, and your conversion is structured. And I hope with this, I've been able to help someone with this episode. Thank you so much for joining. Remember, you can get my free ebook leading through uncertainty on seller.com/835053. Seller.com. Just go get my free ebook. You're thinking, you're going through a really tough time and you're thinking, how do I navigate this? I've created a very simple framework for you to lead yourself and your team through uncertainty, through difficult times. We are really in a world of uncertainty right now. And I think that you should give gift yourself a copy of that book. And also, are you thinking of becoming a strategic family coach? Go to seller.com UA 56M 55071, and then you can also learn how to become a strategic family coach. It's very beautiful. 6 powerful sessions to help you turn your life around to become that person. You get a workbook, and you're also able to guide other people on how to be there, right? So, and then of course, if you want to win the family game, you and your spouse, you like doing your things all by yourself, you don't like a third party, this is a book for you. You are thinking of family activities to engage in. Oh, we don't even know what to do. Everything is getting bored, right? So you need to get this book, also on seller.com, right? So, and I think on this note, I would like to say, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, YouTube Boardroom NG, right? Just Boardroom NG. I can also join the Growth Factory. That's bit.ly/100x underscore growth. Join us and let's build ourselves together. So till we meet again next time, remember, subscribe, share this video to someone. It doesn't bite. Sharing is caring. If you know somebody who needs to see this video, please share it with them. On this note, I want to say a big thank you to everyone for joining tonight and for watching the video. Thank you so much. I really appreciate this.